Tola, we want to say we don't know distance. Will it have been that easy for these guys to get away? What they're getting away? People are not be behind.
Honestly, I agree with you. I don't think Melafi has said anything the government doesn't.
That's it.
They haven't said anything that the government does not.
Exactly.
EFCC probes alleged attempt by Lebanese to smuggle $890,000. That's on page 8 of the Nigerian Tribune. Lebanese again.
Okay. All right. All is not well. Unilag. Council replaces Unilag VC. Ogundipe dismisses sacking. That's the VC now. So don't mind them. I am here. Page 9 of the Punch newspaper.
It also says one million like the sack of VC. I remember VC says Ogundipe as some others were not yet informed. Education Ministry says. That's on page 3 of the Nigerian Tribune. Okay. We say Education Ministry. I mean, we are talking about the federal government. So, about the federal government. Either they are truly not in on this, or they may not support the sack, but we will see how things unfold anyway.
It means everything happened at the NEC level. Okay. Alright. Will impeach Obaseki if he flouts laws. Edo Assembly faction boasts. Okay. Page 2 of the Punch newspaper.
And I haven't been able to see. They said we are going to sit in.
I wonder from where they are even speaking from. Okay. Page 2 of the Punch newspaper.
FEC okays 8.49 billion to procure COVID-19 testing kits. That's on page 4 of the Nigerian Tribune. What are the PPEs that the doctors have been talking about?
Well, see how that goes. Okay. Experts fear downturn in Nigeria as UK enters recession officially. Page 24 of the Punch newspaper. So the United Kingdom is officially in recession.
The Tribune takes it a step further, says UK goes into biggest recession in history. Wow. For the UK economy to be going biggest recession in history. That's something to worry about.
Definitely. Well, allow responsible Nigerians carry AK-47. Others Tom, they are also federal government.
So we said that yesterday.
So all of us have.
I came to my mind. I just imagine the buyer with AK-47 slugging like straight.
This thing we are calling for, I hope we can manage it. I know when people are desperate, want to get desperate measures, can we manage this?
And for him to have said that, I think something may be brewing if we don't the
self-help. Everybody's resorting to self-help. It's unfortunate, but it's easier said. A country where we don't even know how many small and light weapons are already in circulation. You now allow everybody to begin to carry. Maybe they are looking for a way to reduce our population very fast.
I'm also not scared of a situation where a particular group will be profiled as the common enemy. It won't go well at all. For this country.
I totally agree. Well, I mean, for what it's worth, that's not the way to go. Let's be sincere with ourselves. In this kind of environment where there's no control, where you don't know who has what or who uses what, it's really not the best way to go.
The security agencies appear helpless.
It's really not the best way to go. Let's look at strengthening our security architecture. Not that you don't allow everybody. There are a lot of people who are not okay working on the street. There are people who have clothes and they're okay, or they are using face mask, does not mean they are okay. Several people are not.
Well, you put the clothes, you said they were responsible people.
How do you gauge responsibility?
In the Nigerian context.
Okay, I used to have mentor will tell you, be careful what you pray for. Otherwise you may get it. And then handling it will become a problem. Be careful what you pray for. No Nigeria, and I'm just wishing this is not the way. Yes, I know everybody wants to let's take charge, but why not think the Southwest way? Come up with your region and security. Arm a set of people that you can track, that you know.
Even that has to be handled with a lot of care. But what I believe the Southwest government is doing that way, and we have to be careful not to have another ethnic issue.
Just be careful. Imagine this one in the MCA now carrying AK-47. Look at you. It will be hard to read some news. I mean, he just looks at you and he's not angry with you. He's just carrying the weapon. You will see one headline, you will read another one. I mean, let's just okay. But I want to believe Governor Samuel Lotton has a point here, but it's just at this point. You want details of that story? Page 7 of the Punch newspaper. Allow responsible Nigerians like you to carry AK-47. That looks like that sling they used to carry. All right. Page 7 of the Punch newspaper.
Federal government will deduct money from states guilty of double taxation. That's page 6 of the Nigerian Tribune. It's in the now.
Yeah, they want to help you. You say you don't need.
What they deduct, will they give it back to the?
Leave that one. But we shall deduct it on your behalf. Says the federal government. I see the hand of FIRS again this time. Those guys are desperate to impress. They will not help you deduct it again. Man bags of 25-year imprisonment for raping 11-year-old girl in Ogun. Page 9 of the Punch newspaper.
I don't know the same story, but this one says Sharia court sentences 70-year-old. This one has been sentenced to death. Sentences 70-year-old to death for raping 10-year-old. That's on page 20.
And those are the people that need Sharia. Sentence them.
I was actually thinking, okay, sentence to death for blasphemy, sentence to death for rape.
It's the person that needs it. If you ask me, I mean, now, we need less of them around. That's a good one.
70 years old already.
You should go. Ex-US envoy to Nigeria, Walter Carrington, dies at 90. Walter Carrington is at Lagos. I mean, he did so well. There's even a youth program, an annual youth program run by the embassy. Carrington Youth Forum. Awesome man.
He was a lover of this country.
Yeah. So that is picture with his wife in Ashoke. That was the picture trending all around. Oh, wonderful man. He came, he saw, he comes. He did well. I'm sure he will be remembered for good. I also have here someone who decries Lagos representation in federal government agencies. Page 6 of the Punch newspaper. NPA recovers $89 million, $2.404 billion outstanding rental debts. That's on page 8 of the Nigerian Tribune. Well, some people will say that's supposed to be here, big money, and where is it going?
Where the money going? It's still the same old story. I think they're also dressed up for hard times. Money is scarce.
Good friends, they say where the money at. Okay, all right. Baba Yabo is talking here. Chief Doctor Olusegun Obasanjo. Send old generation out of power. Obasanjo tells youths. Page 14 of the Punch newspaper.
I think Baba was the same person that said the youths were not ready.
I think this few period he has spent outside, he has discovered that it's like his set is not willing to go. So they will need to be sent out. Send old generation out of power. Obasanjo tells youths.
That means they will change Baba too, because even though Baba is not in the political office, Baba is
still going short, right? Well, he has spoken.
But then I want to appeal to Baba. They shouldn't abandon the Nigerian nation, and this time they shouldn't abandon the candidates, do you still need their guidance? Well, Baba has his shortcomings, but the experience.
I mean, you can always vouch for him.
Always vouch for him when he speaks his mind.
No, it's bad.
I will censor his guiding lights. So Baba should not leave us at it. So that's what I wanted to say. We still need people like him. I feel they are still around. We still need their wisdom, their experience. Okay. We also have water quarantine dies at 19. To that. Lagos Council boss dies of COVID-19. Page 4 of the Nigerian Tribune. Wow. We have soldier jailed 55 years for killing WHO staff. That's on page 28 of the Nigerian Tribune.
And you also have the Army probes alleged soldiers' involvement in illegal fishing and trading. Page 8 of the Punch newspaper.
We also have 200 Nigerians serving jail terms in Saudi prisons to be repatriated. That was as 94 stranded Nigerians in Lebanon return home. That's on page 28 of the Nigerian Tribune.
The story of a soldier jailed for 55 years is also here. Court martial jails soldier 55 years for killing WHO worker. And you also have Abuja Isolation Center remains shut over lack of bed spaces. Wow. Okay.
Let's look into that.
Still on COVID-19, federal government okays 8.5 billion naira for NCDC testing kits. That's all on page 9 of the Punch newspaper.
That's coming from Oyo State this morning. Oyo releases 50 million naira to boost nutrition in women, children. That's from the health page of the Nigerian Tribune this morning.
And we have Africa needs innovative ideas, says NIPSSGG. Igbo want Biafra, not presidency. Masop tells Ohaneze in the Igbo right there.
Yeah, they made that clear.
This looks like good news from Borno State. Borno settles 560 Boko Haram victims. That's on page 8 of the Punch newspaper. They don't get routed away from where they were settled.
Don't force us into indefinite strike. Health workers will minister. And we have Onyema, that's the Foreign Affairs Minister, recovers test negative for COVID-19. That's on page 4 of the Nigerian Tribune.
And some politics right here. Edo, INEC order Sikh women participation. And they have Ondo. Accord Party aligns with PDP to defeat APC. Ondo senators plan to revive Oluyole Seaport project. And finally, you have Cross River lawmakers berate Fani Kayode over alleged meddling. All on page 14 of the Punch newspaper.
Before we go to sports, Russia says international concern over COVID-19 vaccine blunders, and we have US arms embargo push at UN will fail. Iran says thousands protest in Mali call for president to resign. Foreign news page of the Nigerian Tribune.
We might not have heard the last about all workers, especially in the federal government, under the period of the federal government here. Petrol supply disruption imminent as Pengasan begins strike. While I would say they should negotiate with this one, I'm not afraid. Yes. And the reason is because these are senior stars who feed fat. Yes, but that's not to say that their reason should not be looked into. But
they could work the boat too.
They could, of course. Are you sure they are not the ones that have been instigating those drivers? It's not impossible that they are ones that have been pushing those ones all the while, but knowing fully well that the drivers are decided to stay on their own and they are okay now. They had decided, in fact, they have begun their strike already. Their strike is on as we speak. Petrol supply disruption imminent as Pengasan begins strike. Page 19 of the Punch newspaper.
Sports stories.
It's midweek, so I might be able to. But there's a little bit of some sports story here. Footballers protest 14-month unpaid salaries. Block Ayade's gate. Oh, really? Mr. Governor, pay them more. Even though they are not playing, they deserve their So that's about. And we also have Okoro Dudu discharged from hospital after the ex-boxer's intervention. And on Okwaraji, NFF begins process to retire Eagles number 6 jersey. That's about that on the sports story from the Punch newspaper. And time check 6:51 a.m. Destination time 7:30 a.m. Of course, we'll go to major stories right about now.
I'll take the first shot. Manuel cries over fair hearing Noah like Salami panel. That's on page 3 of the Nigerian Tribune. Suspected acting chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, Mr. Ibrahim Magu, has told the Ayon Salami Judicial Commission of Inquiry that his rights to fair hearing is being violated. This is contained in the letter written by Magu's lawyer, Mr. Wahab Shitu, dated August 11. In address to the chairman of the commission investigating his alleged abuse of office and mismanagement of the federal government's recovered assets and finances. According to Shitu, the suspended EFCC acting chairman was the principal subject of the Judicial Commission of Inquiry, and not only in relation to his person, but also connected to the office he occupied at the time of the inquiry, and thereby making him the principal suspect in the proceedings. In the circumstances, that's quoting Magu's lawyer now. In the circumstances, our client is entitled to be served copies of the allegations against him, or at best, a copy of the terms of reference of the Judicial Commission of Inquiry immediately upon the commencement of these proceedings, or seamlessly upon his appearance before the Judicial Commission of Inquiry on July 6, she too stated. Later, that in spite of the repeated request by Magu and his counsel, the terms of reference was not served anymore until August 8, which was 35 days after the commencement of the Judicial Commission of Inquiry sitting. Thus, our client, Magu, has been denied the opportunity of seamlessly raising objection to and challenging the composition of the commission membership, assuming he would have had any constitutional right of being afforded adequate opportunity of preparing for his defense to those allegations as being violated. The law also goes on to say that critical to the proceedings of the Salami-led commission being a judicial commission of inquiry as provided by section 5B of the Tribunal of Inquiry Act 2004 is the administration of oath on witnesses before evidence of such witnesses are taken. What it says that the witness court so far did not undergo any administration of oath before the Judicial Commission of Inquiry. Magu carried over fair hearing, lawyer like Salami panel.
This thing is fast becoming like a trial. It's meant to be an inquiry.
It is as if someone somewhere is actually bent on naming Magu, whatever the cost. And this might perhaps explain why the Ayo Salami panel has been granted additional powers overnight. An administrative panel of inquiry now suddenly becoming a judicial commission of inquiry. The development, which from what we have seen, Magu's lawyer has described as curious and worrisome. Now, I think the issues are that just how far can this judicial commission of inquiry go when it comes to due process and what the law says? I mean, it's not about what Magu has done or did not do. His lawyer says his client was, for instance, never served copies of the allegations against him and was only served the terms of reference 35 days after the commencement of proceedings. He also points out that oaths were not administered on any of the witnesses called thus far. Now, I feel there is a push of sorts to have Magu nailed without much recourse to the judiciary itself. It seems as if someone somewhere in a particular group simply interested in pronouncing the guilty verdict. He hasn't been given much of an option to defend himself from the feelers we are getting from this commission of inquiry. Now, the question is that between what the law says and the powers, just how far, is this a part of law? I don't understand. It's meant
to just be a panel of inquiry. I mean, all this furor about, I mean, he has done, and I keep saying this, a good portion, if not all, what you have been reading in the newspaper, he did this, he did that, have just been some people pushing out certain information, to have him go through media trial ahead of time. That Salami-led panel has not issued one single press statement, not one. Okay, till now, they have not issued a single press statement. Clearly, the people that are on his matter, they are powerful people. They are people who can make decisions, and they are hell bent on ensuring he does not get back to that place. Whether he now survives it is another question for the other day. EFCC has moved on. They have continued with their work. I mean, and all that. And I think the people who are on this matter are happy with it. The only challenge is this: Magu, take it or drop it, as his own fundamental human right. Where am I going? It deserves fair hearing. Even if he's guilty, let's assume he's guilty here, he deserves to be allowed to at least, say his own part. The word I think legal luminaries will use is that he has a right to defend himself.
I think somebody is afraid of the cumbersome legal process of actually seeing in within the four walls of the courtroom. It would be, the referee will be too much.
Tola, I'm sure they don't want that, because if he knows it's going down, there are some informations. I can bet you Magu has a lot of these guys in his. He has their details, he has facts, and he will not need to consult any book. He just needs to start talking. So that's why they are ensuring. You notice nobody has had access to him since all this was done. So they will ensure that he does not have access to the media. And the moment you allow him go to court now, court will be open. You can't run a secret trial in court. So clearly, the people that are on his matter don't want him to have fair hearing, which, as far as I'm concerned, is not right. Let's face it.
But I think from 2 days ago, when the government was announcing the additional powers for the Salami panel, they said something about that the Judicial Commission of Inquiry, that's what they call it now, would begin a public sitting. I think that was contained in so I don't know just how public would public be.
Definitely, it was supposed to be public all along, and it has never been public. He's also work now. You can't just work in there. They know what they're doing, and we know this.
So they move to sit elsewhere aside also.
Okay,
that was the way they put it.
We'll see how that works out. I mean, it's obvious power brokers are involved, and they don't want that. Talking about people who are in power and use it as they like. Send the old generation out of power. Obasanjo tells youth. That's on page 14 of the Punch newspaper. A former president, Chief Oluyole Obasanjo, has asked African youths to dislodge older generations from leadership positions. Obasanjo enjoined the youths to participate actively in the activities of political parties with a view to taking over the structure from them. Obasanjo said this on Wednesday while delivering a keynote address at an interactive session held virtually to mark this year's International Youth Day. The program was organized by the Youth Development Center and arm of the Oluyole Obasanjo Presidential Library at Moso Abeokuta. Participants were drawn from Nigeria, Mali, USA, Ghana, Kenya, and South Africa. According to him, unless old people are forced out of the political stage, they will continue to occupy the leadership positions to the detriment of the youths. Obasanjo said, quote, unless you squeeze out those who are in office and those who want to remain in office perpetually, some after the age of 80, unless you squeeze them out, they will continue, they will not want to be out. The type of change I'm talking about that I believe we can all embark upon is to subscribe to the constitution of political parties in favor of youth. If you like it, you call it affirmative action in favor of youth. For instance, if you say in the constitution of a political party not less than 50% of those who hold executive office with the party will be less than 40 years, you can even go beyond that and say that people will be put up for election, not less than 50% of them will be less than 40 years of age. That's affirmative action. That's positive discrimination in favor of youths. Send out generations at all power. Obasanjo tells you. We do for commercial break. And we're back. More stories. Don't go anywhere.
Conversation with Dio and Tola.
Listen to this social announcement with gratitude to God for a life well spent. We annul the passing unto glory of our father, great grandfather, late Prince Oluyole Okolawo, age 73, who slept in the Lord on the 22nd of July 2020. Burial arrangement service of song will hold at Saja Baptist Church, Oluyole by 5 p.m. on Thursday, 13th August 2020. Funeral service on Friday, 14th August 2020. Funeral service on Friday, 14th August by 10 a.m. at same church. Then interment follows thereafter with only immediate family members in attendance. All programs are strictly complied with COVID-19 rules. Prince Oluyole Okolawo, may your gentle soul rest in perfect peace. Announcer, children.
Conversation with Dayo and Tola.
So glad to know you're there. Still conversation with Dayo and Tola. Time check 7:02 a.m. Destination time 7:30 a.m. I have a comment on the above of your statement.
Getting the above statement, I think, honestly, I think Nigeria and indeed Africa is at a crossroads. Why do I say this? The quality of youth, which I would say are a reflection of what the older generation have done and what they have failed to do, the kind of youth we have produced in terms of value systems, in terms of responsible leadership, in terms of the ability to decipher between good and evil, between right and wrong. You know, I think there is a lot to worry about. Before the older generation are totally pushed out of the corridors of power, I think there is a need for a total rebranding of the Nigerian youth. The Nigerian youth are a reflection of the Nigerian society.
No doubt.
Definitely the African youth as well. We need to begin to address these things. We need to begin to address these things. We have a generation of young people I'm sorry to say this, who seem to fear and respect nothing at all. Seem to have totally done away with value systems and sound moral value orientation. And if Baba is saying this now, well, I think Baba is right to say that, okay, the older generation should, after all, it seems as if
my focus is the words that he chose to use. Force. You know what I mean? We don't say retired military man. We can't take that away from him. But I mean, force. It's sounding like there's a revolution now.
You remember the African folklore, that story about the animals when the younger kingdom, before the elders were not doing fine. It's hard to get rid of all the elders.
To keep his own.
And when they ran into troubled waters, of course, they didn't get the elders, and they were coming to the dog that eventually killed them out to want to ask his brother for advice. And so, okay. We still need the others, that was the point.
No doubt. Let's take a couple more stories before we open the phone line.
On 29 of the Nigerian Tribunal, DSS gives Oluyole for 6 hours, releasing on bail. And after several hours of interrogation, the Department of State Services, DSS, has released a former deputy governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Dr. Obadiah Oluyole, on bail. Dr. Oluyole went to the Jos Plateau State office of the DSS at about 12:30 p.m. on Wednesday to honor an invitation attended to him with his lawyer, Paus Akumbo SAN, and the Plateau State Chairman of Nigeria Bar Association, NBA, Mr. Sale Bawa. He was to the DSS until 6:05 p.m. when his bail was perfected. Was it an arrest? I thought he was just invited. I'm speaking to Muslim.
Once you are there, you will need to be bailed.
I was speaking to Muslim shortly after his release. Dr. Oluyole said he was treated with great respect and decorum during his interrogation by the security operatives. According to all the kings in southern Kaduna and other states of the country must stop with immediate effect, adding that every Nigerian child, either from Daura in Katsina or Mintok, Zaria in Kaduna and other places, are his children. The former CBN deputy governor said the struggle for the emancipation of the people is his main concern, and that he is not afraid to die for the sake of the people. He pointed out that it is the duty of government to protect lives and property of its citizens. DSS gives Malafia for 6 hours, releases him on bail. That's on page 29 of the Nigerian Tribune.
Well, happy for him.
I feel like the government is not ignoring the issues raised by Malafia. Well, I look at it from two sides. It is justifying that the government will be looking into the allegations he has made, or that some people are very, very uncomfortable with these allegations. And coming from him, it seems to hold some weight.
Tola, what the average Nigerian wants to know is there an iota of truth in what he's saying? Are there people in government who are aiding and abetting terror? If that is true, they should look within and solve the problem and stop chasing people who are speaking the truth. If that is true.
I don't forget these allegations are not just coming from Malafia alone. These are allegations that have been coming even from the foot soldiers out there on the field, other in the heat of the battle against Boko Haram and other insurgents.
I totally agree. So it's not enough to just clamp down on people who choose to say certain things and then cow them, and they have to go and keep quiet. Well, I said it already, and the next question is, what will they do about it? Gradually people are beginning to know, and the day everybody is fully informed, maybe Obasanjo style will step in. Maybe. Okay.
Is done out.
I mean, before we open the phone line, council replaces Unilag VC. Ogundipe dismisses sacking. The Vice Chancellor of the University of Lagos, Professor Oluyole Ogundipe, on Wednesday became the first casualty of the crisis between him and the governing council of this institution following the termination of his appointment. The sacking of the Vice Chancellor was announced at a meeting of the governing council of Unilag held at the National Universities Commission in Abuja. While 7 members of the council were said to have voted for the removal of Ogundipe, 4 voted against it. But one of them voted that he should rather be placed on suspension. The meeting was chaired by the Unilag Pro-Chancellor and Chairman of its governing council, Dr. Wali Babalaki SAN. A terse statement by the Registrar and Secretary to Council, Oladejo Aziz, titled, quote, "Notice to the general public on the removal of the Vice Chancellor of the University of Lagos," read, "Ogundipe was sacked based on investigation of serious acts of wrongdoing, gross misconduct, financial recklessness, and abuse of office. The general public is hereby notified that an emergency meeting held on Wednesday, August 12, 2020, and in accordance with the statutory powers vested in it by law, the Governing Council of University of Lagos removed Professor Oluyole T. Ogundipe FAS from office as Vice Chancellor of the University with immediate effect." ASU condemns Unilag VC sacking. The academic staff union of universities Unilag branch has condemned the purported sacking of the institution's Vice Chancellor. Ogundipe himself debunked the report. Reacting Unilag VC, Professor Ogundipe, in a statement on Wednesday, refuted reports of his removal and added that he remained the Vice Chancellor of the institution. The statement, which was signed by the Vice Chancellor himself, was titled, "Notice to the general public on the removal of the Vice Chancellor of the University of Lagos by Oladejo Aziz Esquire." He said, quote, "The purported removal is an illegality and cannot stand, as it is in clear violation of the University of Lagos Act as amended by the University's Miscellaneous Provisions Amendment Act of 2003. VC removal ridiculing our regulation." Unilag Senate. Council replaces Unilag VC. Ogundipe dismisses sacking. Page 9 of the Punch newspaper.
I think they were pointing at Chief Babalaki.
Clearly.
And what the SAC obviously seems to have quite a number of stakeholders behind him. see members of the Senate, the two Senate representatives in the governing council, Professors Oluyole and Bola Obo, in different statements, pointed fingers at Bola looking for Odupe's purported renewal, adding that the governing council did not follow the due process, and ASU is also saying the process was full of illegality. Well, I think the basic issue here is that due process should be followed. Not really about whether he deserves to go or not, but due process should be followed.
That's what we
are not the judges here anyway.
I know. We can't decide. But if somebody feels he can just remove the this is not same things politicians are doing. You talk to me, Abi, and I'm going to go for. I will remove you. You will not go for second term. Is that not? What's the difference? That is having an ivory tower does not make it any different. It's almost the same thing. Same thing is going on. The phone line is open. 085509850 from Lagos to Edo to Abuja. Let's know your comment. 085509850. Seems we have someone here.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, John.
Good morning.
Morning, first caller. You are welcome. Go ahead with your comment, Mr. Haruna. Morning, morning.
The first something that we got was 170 years old black that was caught raping also. And the Sharia sentenced him to death. You can see that I read the way you spoke this morning. That is a very good idea. If we have been doing this in this country, I think our nation will be great today. It's a very good idea. God bless you.
Thank you so much, Aruna from Ogbomoso. Back to back, you've been the first caller in the last 2 days. Thank you so much for making the day with us. Someone else is here, right?
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
That must be Grandma.
Yeah, that's Grandma from the morning.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Amen.
Please let us appeal to Baba to calm down. The youth of this country still need the advice of the elders. And it will be bad if they will not allow Magu to defend himself. Because many things they do behind this Buhari, even the dead, we will name them with corruption attitude. So let us give Magu chance to defend himself. God bless Nigeria. God bless you.
Alright, thank you so much, Grandma. I really appreciate your call all the way from Ilorin. Let me start from Twitter today. Ladiola at Ladiola007 said, until Nigerian eminent citizens start to speak the truth, as Mr. Obadiah had said earlier, regarding the issue of insurgency, the security of this country will still be under the threat of bandits. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Your
name again?
Hello?
Your name and location. We can hear you. Your name and location.
My name is
Adegoke from Ogbomoso. Go ahead.
Yes. I like to think about what in this country they have you. They have you that and you. I think
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Adegoke from Ogbomoso. Appreciate your call. The phone line still open. 085509850. Camille Adedeji at Silver Prince on Twitter is saying, good morning, sirs. Please kindly help me thank the People's Governor at Seyi Makinde. He was on working visit to Lautech Teaching Hospital Ogbomoso yesterday, where he reinstated the workers sacked by the immediate past administration. Camille from Ogbomoso. Oh, Camille, are you one of them? The way he's saying it. Congratulations. Congratulations to you, Kabila Dedeji. Oh, wow. This is the first time we'll be tweeting at us. So I suspect he's one of those reinstated.
Good feedback there.
Oh, thank you. Congratulations to you. I mean, I can imagine. Yeah. You found a way to just get back and say thank you. That's a good one. That's a good one. The phone line is open 0055 009885.
Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
Yeah, this is Tola from Oluyole.
Oh, nice to have you. Go ahead, sir.
Good morning, Sir Tola.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, I want to comment on the last year.
Okay.
This type of person we want in Nigeria. People that are both, that religious. I would say good luck to good morning.
All right. Thank you for making that pretty brief, Mr. Isaac Agbola from Ogbomoso. Okay. Well, there's someone else there.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Tola.
Good morning, sir.
Please, I'm from
Mazi Wanko, go ahead.
Yeah, I well read in press on Obasanjo speech this morning. In fact, to me, Obasanjo will live long. It's today that our former president told us the problem of this country, so we know it before. Please, I'm suggesting, if Nigeria will have a law that will not allow anybody that is above 50 to contest in any election, even local government, I think that this country will have their peace. Look at the other state. Other states, they have got their peace. Let this country so that this country is guilty. Let the news come up. When our district is going to do anything in this country, anybody that is above, let that person stay aside and let us have our place. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much, Mazi Wanko. Really appreciate it. At Olakunle_Dawn on Twitter, he's saying after invitation is information and revelation. I thought DSA is supposed to review the truth about my life investigation. They won't tell you that. You wait for press release after the you're asking for a big thing.
They will only work according to instructions.
Exactly.
Directives.
That's
the facts of the
day that happens in this country. Someone is on the phone line.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, I'm calling from Oluyole.
Oh, nice to have you. Please make a comment.
What we do with you?
Amen.
First, I want to thank our governor, about what he did for us in Mountain School yesterday. I want to pray for this that yesterday, today, tomorrow, his life is easy for him forever.
All right. Thank you so much, Yamasura. Just called to pray for the governor. Adiola Sunday on Facebook. We're on Facebook now. Good morning, Tola and on Obasanjo, kudos for the message to the youth. It's time for the youth to take over in Nigeria. Come with Adiola Sunday from Shaki. Let's go back to the phone line.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
My name is Chris Oluyole.
Oh, nice to have you, Mr. Chris.
Yeah, I want to talk about this issue that I'm going to say like Apple. You see, at $40 per barrel, we are already $150 per liter. And you know that we are just coming up for this COVID-19 issue, that businesses are resuming all over the world. I tell you, within the next 2 weeks or so, that per barrel will go to about 60 or 70. And if it goes there, do you know that we are going to buy this stuff for 250 naira? So nobody is paying attention to that we should all come out now and begin to speak about that, so that the government know what they are doing, because there is problem on our head. We say before Nigeria can recover from that 4 months stay at home without any job. I mean, it's not easy. Things are getting difficult. Everything is increasing. And the problem issue now has increased so many things now. So let us talk about it instead of talking about things that we can do out. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for that. So 0550985. I think someone is there.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Reverend Babatunde from Lalate.
Nice to have you, Reverend.
Now, it is not an understatement to say that the youth should be sent out of the politics of Nigeria. Like Baba Olafunde said, it's good. But one thing I want us to know is that experience is the best teacher. I would have preferred the two of them, that is the youth and the old, to get together and be in politics to make Nigeria move forward. So instead of allowing only the youth, because there are some youth that are not good, there are some youth that don't have respect for the elders. So if they are in politics, if we say that the youth should not be there, then nobody will be there to caution them. So it is that. Let the two be together, the youth and the old, so that the old will show the youth the way out, the way of moving Nigeria forward. Reverend Babatunde from Lalate.
Thank you so much, Reverend. Shitu Fatima on Facebook is saying good morning. Abayomi Akinshola Oladeji say he wants to know why the Works Commissioner was sacked. No reason has been given yet. Akbom Mojo is saying good morning. Kudos to my governor, Engineer Sheyi Makinde. Please continue the good work. The Lord is your strength. Ogunbayo Olufumbi Timile is saying good morning, Oluyole FM. Please, where is some of your presenters? All these names you are mentioning are doing program every week. Well, we haven't been hearing them since last week. We do enjoy the programs from Abia State. Oh, thank you. You stream, right? We have a little bit of some challenges with streaming, but we are back fully now, so you hear them. Thank you. Abia State. Oops. Really. Trust me, you stay tuned on Facebook. I'm sure this is a Facebook person, so you hear them, okay, or you watch them. Taufik Akim Banis are saying good morning. I will go back to the phone line.
Somebody will. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning,
Morning, sir.
Good morning.
Okay.
David from Gomosha, right?
Yes, calling from Ogunmosho.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
Yes, I want to talk about Nigerian situation. And what I mean is that what makes us to be happy in Nigeria, at least we have gotten it here in the West. When you wake up every day in the West now as a visitor, we are always happy. What happened yesterday, day before yesterday, and what will happen today will make you happy. And you can see that we have gotten the right person. We have seen what we are looking for long, and that is what we are enjoying. I want to say categorically that what Governor Sheyi Makinde is saying, is doing in the state today, is making every one of us to be happy. The youth are there writing exams to be employed. Those who have been sacked have been respected. Those who have been owed money have been paid. And you can see our roads, the contracts have been awarded, and most of these roads have been graded. You see, there is happiness in our state. And I want to say that God will bless Governor Sheyi Makinde.
Amen. All right, thank you so much. That's somebody else from Ogbomoso again, right? What happened in Ogbomoso? Something happened there. That was not just a visit. Okay, here comes somebody from Ogbomoso again. Dr. Adiola Dawusi again. Greetings to you, sir. My warm regards to our noble governor, His Excellency Sheyi Makinde, for his thoughtfulness all of the time. May God continue to uphold him and lead him aright. We are so proud of him. No regrets voting him last year. Okay, Team GSM. Alright, OBJ is awake. I hope the youths are too, as per the responsible citizens of Nigeria, taking up arms in their own defense. I hope we really have not reached that stage. So is the federal government admitting it can no more protect the citizenry? It is well. That's Dr. Odewuse Ige, Team Lautech. Alright, someone is here.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
My name is Dr. from New Zealand.
Okay, nice to have you, sir.
I want to comment on the student project by the federal country. that we use that country to take the power from the Congress. It's when the old Chicago from like being taken out of publicity, that then that making problem can take place. Secondly, I want to commission with the government of US on the former ambassador to Nigeria, Dr. Carrington, the dispute of the public. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Taufik Akibanu says, good morning. Dan Kabir Baba is saying, hello, BNT, how are you doing? Oh, fine. Thank you, Dan Kabir. Elias Agoro, also on Facebook, is saying, good morning to you, Mr. DNT. May Almighty Allah be your strength. Amen. Kudos to our amiable governor, Engineer Oluyole. I want to appeal to him to remember private school teachers in palliative and other dividends of democracy. Thanks, Elias Agoro from O2. Thank you so much. You go back to the phone line. Hello, good morning. Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir.
We are praying for you, that God continue to bless you.
Amen. Amen. Thank you, sir.
That has been this Tola is coming back to life. Want to stand up for that. Like somebody said, we wanted to buy radio rifle in those days. You didn't know that it's just the name of the station. Like today is going to be to you people.
Thank you, sir.
On the issue of macro, there is nothing offered that will not be uncovered. Whether they try to bring them justice, what I they cover will be uncover one by justice. The powerful people should remember that there is the all-powerful God. The mighty in this nation should remember that there is the Almighty who visits everybody at the right time. So, well, on the issue of Baba's comment that the older generation should be started, that is true. But they should try for they are created before they go.
All right. You didn't tell us your name, sir. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir.
The good governor should please remember to extend this hand of magnanimity to the community. Our roads is bad. Our roads are bad. And also we have been contributing money to build a school. We are that is the college of science and technology. We have not been able to put up a computer building. You should please come and help us.
Okay, sir.
The guy is still okay too. You should please come and help us. We voted for him.
Thank you so much. That's the last call we'll take today. Camila Adedeji is back here on Twitter saying, I'm not one of them. I'm just happy for the beneficiaries of the restatement in Lautech. It's something we have awaited for long, since December 2017 to be precise. You seem to know all the facts.
Yeah. All these accolades are coming directly from the people.
Exactly.
It's
better they say it. Let them say it. All right, and that's the show for today. Until tomorrow when we come your way, I remain Oladayo Ogunbowale.
Tola Tediba.
Moluaji is right here. Up next, Sporting Bits.
Conversation with Dio and Tola.
Your prime time. For those of you who do not know, you are listening to
98.5
Oluyole FM. Let's go. Your prime time. For those of you who do not know, you are listening to
98.5
Oluyole FM. Let's go.
Good morning.
morning, Ibadan. Good morning, Oyo State. Good morning, Nigeria. Time check at 7:30 a.m. I already know it's sport time right on Oluyole 98.5 FM. The Trailblazer, you know, the pride of the nation, and of course, the best in the West. Yes, we're here once again to bring you up to speed with all the happenings in the world of sports. Bring you the latest, the hottest, of course, the juiciest news, unforgettable exclusive interviews that you can only get on this radio. I have to call the numero uno. Yes, my name is Buluwaji Ogumara. On the show this morning, we'll be taking a look at moves by various MPFL clubs at strengthening their squad ahead of the forthcoming MPFL season that have been tentatively fixed for September, October. We'll also take a look at our Nigerian players have fared in Scotland yesterday. Our players were in action, and of course, I'll be telling you about those who scored and those who made various appearances. I also have a special for you on cricket this morning, as we'll be hearing from the Vice President, Nigerian Cricket Federation, Mr. Uyu Akpata. We'll also be taking a look at updates from the NBA as regards results of games played in the areas of today. We'll also take a look at the UEFA Channel the games that played yesterday. One actually, as Atlanta lost to French champions Paris Saint-Germain. It was another one, of course, a slim victory for Paris Saint-Germain, but of course they did the midfield till the end of that particular game to make it into the semi-finals of the Champions League. This and many more, it's time to enjoy Sported Bit this lovely morning as I kick off with stories from the local scene and of course talking transfer. But don't forget that you can listen to us online. Just visit www.bishops.tv/listen. You can also watch us live on Facebook and of course on Twitter. On Facebook we are www.facebook.com/Oluyole 98.5 FM. On Twitter we are at Oluyole FM. Well, let me start from Abia this morning, where Abia Warriors Football Club have beaten various MPFL club to the signing of young goalkeeper Vincent Edafe. The former Dakada FC goalkeeper has put pen to paper with the Umuahia team ahead of the forthcoming MPFL season. The Warri-born goalkeeper was very handful for opposing team last season, as his great goalkeeping artistry contributed greatly to the good run of form for Dakada FC. Statistically, the lanky goalkeeper featured in 21 games for Dakada FC, and he contested keenly for the best goalkeeper in the league after making 8 clean sheets for his side. The 19-year-old goalkeeper says that he is delighted to have joined the team, a club that refused to offer him everything he needs to win trophies and have a successful career. Not just Abia Warriors, Kwara United continue to make important signings. Yesterday, I told you about 2 of the new signings, including Dele Ayenuga, and today I've got news from Kwara. As Kwara United once again has given their MPFL season a double-barreled boost as a dead ball specialist Avize Nursery and former top scorer in the NNL Michael Ohano have both rejoined Kwara United ahead of the start of next season. Avize played for Kwara United last 2 seasons under former coach Abubakar Bala, and he greatly impressed for the Harmony Warriors fans with his energetic display in the midfield. Nursery scored 5 free kicks in the last 2 seasons for Kwara United, then accepted to return to the club, in which he has signed a deal for Michael Ohano. He was with Kwara United for 3 good seasons before he joined Academy Warriors on loan. Last 2 years, the 22-year-old moved to MFM Football Club from Academy Warriors and played for Aqua United last season. During his first season with Kwara United, Ohano scored 21 goals and finished as top scorer, which helped the Harmony Boys secure promotion to the NPFL, that's the Nigerian Professional Football League. Heading straight to Scotland this morning and taking a look at Nigerian players fared the colours of their respective club sides in Scotland yesterday. Joe Aribo was on target as Glasgow Rangers recorded a 3-0 home win against St Johnstone's in a Scottish Premiership game at the Ibrox Stadium on Wednesday night. Joe Aribo scored Rangers' third goal of the game just 5 minutes after the break, running from James Tavernier's corner kick. Bona Barisic
put Rangers ahead with a superb free kick in the 21st minute of the encounter, while Ryan Kent added the second in the 45th minute of that match. Arido's international teammate Leon Omurebi Balogun was replaced at halftime by Elanda in another game. Ambrose Efe was in action in Livingston's 3-2 away draw at Motherwell yesterday in the Scottish Premiership. Heading straight to Belgium, where Nigerian forward Paul Onuachu has been named in Belgian Pro League Team of the Week for matchday 1. Remember that the league started just last weekend as Onuachu came off the bench to inspire Genk to a 2-1 away win against Zoto Waregem at the Rainbow Stadium on Sunday. The former FC Midtjylland of Denmark star scored the equalizing goal for Genk in the 7th minute of that encounter. Onuachu also had a hand in the penalty won by Genk later in the game, which was converted by his international teammate Cyril Deschamps. He scored 9 goals in 22 league appearances for Genk last season. The lanky forward is expected to feature regularly for Genk this very season as they look to reclaim the title from Club Brugge. Heading straight to my featured interview for this morning as the Nigerian Cricket Federation, through their Vice President Uyi Akpata, has said that the Federation will focus on creating much needed infrastructure around the country to make sure that they popularize the sport and facilitate the uptake of cricket nationwide. Akpata, who also heads the Edo State Cricket Board, said with the NCS, as the Nigerian Cricket Federation having established stability in the running of its affairs, the next step will see the Federation establish quality cricket facilities across the country, as well as institute a process that will see cricket rival football as the country's most popular sport by ensuring that over 200,000 young people take up the sport of cricket on an annual basis. It said that the Federation intends to establish 4 new cricket ovals in Abuja, Ibadan, Benin, and at the TBS Oval in Lagos, which would also serve as high performance center. Let's listen to the Vice President of Nigerian Cricket Federation, Uyi Akpata, this morning.
Our focus in 2020 will be around the area of facilities development. We want to have more crickets. By God's grace, at least 4 will come on board. Second one in Abuja, one in Ibadan, one in Benin, and then of course traditional home of cricket, the Oval here. So in each of those places, we're going to make the high performance camp where you have a regional development officer working with teams on a regular basis, so that it's cricket in terms of development, playing time, a lot of activities. But more importantly, on an annual basis, we are trying to introduce almost 200,000 kids to the game of cricket, so that next to football, we're going to see that cricket is going to be the most sought after sports in the country.
Well, the past year recorded many successes for cricket in Nigeria. There was the bilateral match for the women's national team that saw them play a first ever international match when they took on Rwanda in Abuja and Kigali. The ICC Cricket World Cup visited the country for the very first time, and the men's national team participated in the first ever global event when they were selected to replace Zimbabwe in the ICC T20 World Cup qualifiers in the United Arab Emirates. The greatest strides, however, were recorded in youth cricket, with the under-19 national team emerging unbeaten throughout 2 African qualifying tournaments to secure a place at the 2020 ICC Under-19 Cricket World Cup in South Africa, becoming in the process Nigeria's first cricket team to qualify for a global event. This achievement by the Federation has not gone unnoticed by cricket's governing body, as the International Cricket Council, which supports the Federation with about $1 million in annual grant, and hopes to see a structure that enables the progress achieved so far can be sustained and replicated. And Akpata says the ICC, as the International Cricket Council, is eager to partner with the Nigerian Cricket Federation to ensure the development of the sport throughout the length and breadth of Nigeria. Uyi Akpata speaks forward on the partnership.
We're just really excited that we've managed to create some kind of stability, especially in the area of governance and robust financial controls, things that make your partners to trust you. So it's against that background that ICC is really excited in Nigeria, that the country that has over 100 million population, young talents, they can only partner with us to see how we can develop the game or take it to the nooks and crannies of this country.
Away from cricket this lovely morning and talking NBA, where Paul George scored 27 points and Kawhi Leonard added 26 as the LA Clippers defeated the Denver Nuggets to clinch the Western Conference's second number 2 seed. And of course, in other games played yesterday, actually in the headers of today, LA Clippers got the better of Denver Nuggets 124 to 111, where Miami Heat narrowly lost to Oklahoma City Thunder 115 to 116. Indiana Pacers got the better of the Houston Rockets by 108 to 104 points. Also, Toronto Raptors, reigning champions of the NBA, got the better of Philadelphia 76ers 125 to 121 points. Heading straight to athletics, where the Paris Marathon, which had been rescheduled for November, has now been cancelled. The race was originally scheduled to take place on the 5th of April, but was postponed because of the ongoing pandemic, and now it has been called off by organizers as they look ahead to 2021 instead. The Berlin and New York marathons have also been cancelled, while the London Marathon will go ahead in October, but will only involve elite athletes. Well, away from that, talking UEFA Champions League football this lovely morning. Night of UEFA Champions League football yesterday in Lisbon, Portugal, as 2 goals in sprint stoppage time saw Paris Saint-Germain come from a goal down to beat Atlanta by 2-1 in the quarterfinal of this season's UEFA Champions League football played in Lisbon, Portugal yesterday night. The win means PSG qualified for the semi-finals for the very first time since 1995, and PSG were on the verge of suffering more Champions League disappointment after Mario Basalouk opened scoring for Atlanta in the 27th minute of yesterday's encounter. Every effort to get back into the game proved futile as Atlanta frustrated them with solid defending. But of course, PSG coach Thomas Tuchel brought on Kylian Mbappe and Eric Maxim Choupo-Moting, and of course Julian Draxler to try and of course help them get back into the encounter. But of course, it paid off for PSG yesterday, as in the 90th minute of the encounter, Marquinhos made it 1-1 after he was assisted by Neymar Jr. And of course, later on the 93rd minute of the encounter, Choupo-Moting has scored the winner to send PSG through into, of course, the semi-finals of this year's UEFA Champions League. And of course, PSG will now wait for the winner between RB Leipzig and Atletico Madrid, who will square off later tonight. And of course, talking about tonight, UEFA Champions League game between Atletico Madrid and RB Leipzig. Let me inform you that RB Leipzig have never made the knockout stage before, and we face an Atletico Madrid side who have twice reached the final in the last 6 years. And of course, Leipzig will not be without their main man this season, as Timo Werner, who is unavailable after he signed for Chelsea earlier on for £54 million. And of course, let me just remind you what they'll be missing. Werner has scored 34 goals in all competitions for the team, as the team finished third in the Bundesliga this just concluded season. And of course, for Atletico Madrid, well, their coach Diego Simeone has actually said that that they will actually forget about what happened to them earlier this season at Anfield, where they were able to knock out defending champions Liverpool from the competition. Atletico forward Angela Correa and the defender Asini Vajvi tested positive for coronavirus before today's game, and of course the players are currently isolating at home and will miss the rest of the tournament. The two positive cases were discovered after players and staff traveling to Lisbon were tested in Madrid on Saturday. Players and stars have since been retested, with all results returning all negative. Quick one, let me inform you, Atletico Madrid have always progressed against the German opposition in the knockout stages of the UEFA Champions League. As you want to check out their record in 2015 and that of 2017 against Bayer Leverkusen, yes, they knocked out the German opposition, and also in 2016 they knocked out Bayern Munich. Shows that Atletico Madrid have what it takes to get back RB Leipzig, get the better of RB Leipzig later tonight. Wishing the two teams all the very best in the game later tonight. Alright, away from that, let's head straight to Spain, where Barcelona says that an unnamed squad member has tested positive for COVID-19. He was one of the 9 reporting for preseason training, and of course we understand that he actually showed no symptoms and he has since been quarantined at his home. Well, also yesterday, fellow La Liga side Atletico Bilbao said that 6 players have tested positive as they return for preseason training. Valencia also confirmed 2 cases of COVID-19 this week, while Atletico Madrid reported 2 positive cases before their Champions League quarterfinal game later tonight. Away from Spain, let's come straight to England, where this year's Community Shield will feature the first ever double header with both men and women's games to be played at Wembley Stadium on the 29th of this month. The first game will feature Women's Super League champions Chelsea and FA Cup holders Manchester City in the women's edition, which returns for the first time since 2008, where Arsenal defeated Everton by a long goal. This will be followed by the men's game between Premier League champions Liverpool and FA Cup winners Arsenal. Manchester City won last season's Community Shield by defeating Liverpool 5-4 in a penalty shootout. All matches at Wembley will be played without fans in attendance to curb the spread of COVID-19. The women's game will mark the start of the domestic campaign after the 2019-2020 WSL season was abandoned because of the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, with Chelsea awarded the title on a points per game basis. The new WSL season is scheduled to start behind closed doors on the weekend of September 5 and 6, with Chelsea beginning title defense against Manchester United. The men's Premier League season starts on the 12th of September. Quick one coming from Italy this morning, where Juventus have confirmed that Blaise Matuidi's departure from the stadium from the club as the midfielder prepares to join Inter Miami. Matuidi joined the Italian giants from PSG in a deal worth up to £27.8 million in 2017. He went on to make 133 appearances for Juventus and won a Serie A title in each of his 3 seasons with Juventus. Also, let me inform that former Arsenal midfielder Francisco Coquelin is now teammate to Samuel Chukwueze after he was announced as a Villarreal player yesterday. The La Liga side confirmed Coquelin's signing in a statement released on their official website. Signing off with this transfer rumor this morning, as I understand that Syria giant Juventus will reportedly offer Arsenal a choice of Gonzalo Higuain, Douglas Costa and Christian Romero in exchange for Alexander Lacazette. Arsenal are hoping to reduce their wage bill this summer transfer window while creating funds for new signing. Lacazette could be one of the stars to depart with Juventus, keen on his services. Although we all spotted with this lovely morning, I must say a very big thank you to everyone who's been part of today's production, and bigger thanks to you for listening this morning. My name is Boluwa Jogba. The show returns tomorrow morning for the Thank God This Friday edition of Spotted Bit. Till then, we'll have a lovely day, and of course, stay safe.
unbeatable. That's the BCS for you. Yeah, BCS TV. Oluyole 90.5 FM Ibadan. Agility 92.1 FM Obumasho. Okyobo 96.3 FM Alaga. For inquiries and patronage, please call 081-5271-9250. 081-5271-9250. That's the BCS customer care line for you. Do call BCOS, a media giant in a class of its own.
pẹ̀lú ọpẹ́ sí ọlọ́run fún ìgbàlẹ̀ onígbàgbọ́ tòótọ́ ní gbogbo ẹbí pa akínọlá akíntola àti ẹbí ọláòpá fi ń kéde papòdà ìyá wa díákònì obìnrin juliana ọmọtáyọ̀ ọláyínká akíntola ní ọláòpá ẹni tí ó sùn nínú olúwa lọ́jọ́ 18 oṣù kẹfà ọdún yìí nílùú london lẹ́yìn ọdún 75 tá a sì ti sí òkú wọn nílùú london. ètò ìsìndúpẹ́ ohun ìjáde òkú yóò wáyé lọ́jọ́ 14 oṣù kẹjọ ọdún yìí nínú ìjọ living spring chapel sango nílùú ìbàdàn ní dédé aago 10 òwúrọ̀. ọ̀pọ̀ ọmọ àti ọmọ ló gbẹ̀yìn màmá wa. lára wọn ni olóyè arábìnrin abímbọ́lá akíntola, arábìnrin mùsùlùmádé ọládèjì, arábìnrin oyè tó ń balógun, ọ̀gbẹ́ni olúwaṣeyì akíntola àti ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ọmọ. díákónì obìnrin juliana ọmọtáyọ̀ ọláyínká akíntola. afẹ́ọ̀ àmọ́ jésù fẹ́ ọ jù wá lọ. máa sinmi láyà olùgbàlà títí dọjọ́ àjíǹde tí ìpínyà kò ní sí mọ́. sùn re o. olùkéde adéọlá adédọ̀tun ti iléeṣẹ́ BCOS fún gbogbo ẹbí.
In keeping with our mandate to keep you informed on news, events and happenings in Oyo State and Nigeria, Oluyole 98.5 FM is pleased to announce the creation of additional daily news slots with news on the hour at 9 a.m., 10 a.m., 11 a.m. and 12 noon, as well as world news at 1 p.m. That's not all. Oyo State News comes up at 3 p.m., community news at 5 p.m. every Wednesday and Friday, while Newscope, our daily news package with in-depth reports, interviews and commentaries takes the airwaves at 6 p.m. So, whatever your news preference, we got you covered on Oluyole 98.5 FM.
So I don't like jollof rice, fried rice, pounded yam, egusi.
Rice and stew, jollof rice.
Thank
you. All this plenty kind food one they call soup. Now what thing we go chop for the naming?
Yes, ma'am.
See, enjoy.
Maybe small.
You see, mama baby. The same way when we get different kind of food. Now so we get different kind of child-based spacing methods. So child-based spacing go make your belly sweet well, and your body too. It go tanda. Anyone when you choose good for body and you go fit trust am.
Auntie Nurse, na just for don dey talk about am o. But me I dey fear.
See, no culture or religion wey no dey support anything wey go make life better. Make you and your Jasper come when una ready. I go dey wait for una o.
Okay. No forget say anyone wey you choose for childbirth spacing matter dey safe and you fit trust am. Oya waka go any health center wey get the green dot logo to get full informate on childbirth spacing services. This message na the Federal Ministry of Health and Support from American people.